Welcome to this week's video. What a glorious day it is out here today. So we're just out in the woods today. I thought I'd do another recipe today, so let's get straight to it. Good morning, thanks for joining us this week. So we're out in the woods today. We're going to be using the Omnia stovetop oven today to cook another recipe today. We had such good feedback on last week's video, I thought I'd come out into the woods and cook tonight's tea using the Omnia stove. So we're going to be cooking Kedgeree today. So Kedgeree is a rice and fish dish. This is my take on it, so I've used some other bits that you might not use, and I've also made this very easy to make as well by just using it as a one-pot meal using the Omnia stove. So without further ado, let's take a look at what we need. Ingredients for this recipe: you're going to need a couple of hard-boiled eggs. I've got a teaspoon of garam masala and turmeric inside of here. You're going to need a little bit of oil for the rack. Inside of here I've got some wild garlic, some bay leaves and some parsley. I've got a pouch here of pre-cooked rice, so this is long grain and wild rice inside of here. I've got a piece of smoked cod, and I've also got a little pack of hot smoked salmon as well. To be able to do this recipe, you're going to need the rack for the Omnia oven, and you're going to need the silicone mould. You're also going to need a bowl as well to mix everything up in. So like I say, the first thing that we need to do is cook the cod off first. So what we're going to do is just bake the cod inside of the oven here. So the first thing I'm going to do is just oil the rack that's inside of there, just so the fish doesn't stick to that. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that oil, and then I'm just going to rub that over the top of the rack so that the fish is not going to stick on there whilst it's cooking. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to get the oven up to heat. So we'll turn this on, stick it on a high heat, get this up to heat, and then we'll put the fish in. Right, so we've got the oven up to heat. So all we're going to do now is put the fish inside of the oven. So I'm just going to cut the piece of fish so it fits into the oven, because it won't go around otherwise. And then we're just going to lay the fish inside. And we're just going to bake that off. It'll probably be about 15-20 minutes to bake that. Right, so while that's baking, we'll get the rest of the ingredients done. So what we're going to do now is just using our bowl that we've got here, what we're going to do is just tip the rice into here. So squeeze a packet. We're just going to tip the rice into this bowl. I'm just going to make sure that's all separated. And then in goes the turmeric and the garam masala. I'm just going to stir that around. And then in this bottle here, all I've got here is just a few herbs and spices. So we've got some parsley, some bay leaves, and there's some dried wild garlic inside of there as well. So we're going to leave the bay leaves till later. So all I'm going to do with these is just take the big bits of stalks off the parsley and the garlic, and we're just going to break these up into small bits. So say this is a pretty much rough and ready recipe, this is, so it's really easy to do. We'll just break all of those up. And then all we're going to do is just put them into the rice. Right, and then the only thing we need in here is just a little bit of pepper. A bit too much, never mind. A little bit of salt. Not far off, not far off. And then the only thing that we're going to do now is just put one of the eggs into this, because I like to put one of the eggs on the top of the Kedgeree. So all I'm going to do is just take the shell off this egg. God, that fish smells lovely. And then all I'm going to do is literally just chop this egg into really just rough pieces. Well, this is a bit soft, this egg is. Should have cooked that a bit longer, I think. So we'll just add in the salmon. I think that's enough salmon there. Want a piece? Yeah, I thought you might. There you go. You get stuck into that. Alright, let's take a look at this. Alright, that's pretty much done. So I'm just going to turn that down, turn that off. And I'm just going to let that cool down a bit, just so I can get the fish out. Stick it in the rest of the mix. We'll put the other egg in now instead of on the top, I think. I should have run these in a bit more cold water. Right, so the cod has cooled down just enough just to pick this out. So I'm literally just flaking this into the rest of the mix. Still quite warm. Ah, lovely bit of fish. Same with the other, just flaking that all up, and then all we're going to do is just give that a stir around. You look quite interested in this, Marley. Right, so that's our mix. So what we need to do now is just take the rack out of here, if it's cool enough. Put in the silicone mould, and then all we're going to do is just spoon this into the mould. Just make sure that that's all equal all the way around. And then the last thing that we've got to do is just stick the bay leaves on the top. And there we go, that's ready. So that's going to want about 20 minutes on about half heat, I would say, for this. It's all cooked basically, it's just we want to just bake it now. So we'll stick the lid on and we'll stick it on half heat for about 20 minutes. So kedgeree is a really easy recipe, and especially this one that I've put together for you guys today. I believe kedgeree originates from India, and I think the colonists brought it back to the UK and sort of bastardized it into what we know now. And like I say, it's really versatile, so you can make it however you want to make it. I mean, typically people use smoked haddock and egg, but like in this recipe we've got a bit of smoked salmon and a bit of smoked cod. I've even had it as I grew up. We used to have it with smoked mackerel, and it is a really cheap recipe to make. The only thing with it is you've got to like smoked fish. Please don't forget about the Instagram giveaway that we're doing at the end of this month. So this giveaway is courtesy of Omnia, and we're giving away one of the full kits of the stovetop oven, all the accessories, the recipe book, everything. All you need to do is just find the post on Instagram. The link to the post is in the description below. All you need to do is follow myself, you need to follow Omnia Sweden, and you need to comment on that post, I want one of these, and then we're going to draw a winner out at the end of the month. Right, I think we're pretty much ready. That looks spot on. So we'll turn that off. And it's time to have some lunch, I think. There we go. So that's probably taken about 30 minutes to cook all of this, and this is one of my favourite dishes, so cheers. The wild garlic gives it such a great flavour. So please give it a go. It's an absolute fantastic recipe. It's one that I eat all the time. Really simple, not that expensive. Right, so there we go. That's kedgeree done in the Omnia stove. The whole method, recipe, ingredients is all in the description below, along with the Instagram giveaway for one of these stoves that we'll be drawing at the end of this month. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button just in the centre here, and then there's another Omnia recipe up the top here and another video at the bottom for you to take a look at. Hopefully next week we'll be out on a camp. I look forward to seeing you then.